the tumor cells is alkaline. The fact that the tumor cells is alkaline has been published way back, but it's a forgotten fact. People are always speaking of the acidity, which is outside the cells, but inside the cell is alkaline. And it's what we use when we go to tumor boards or things like that. When they do the staining, the eosine hematoxylin, these are stains which stain the pH. They are pH-dependent stain. And the cells, the tumor cells, are basic. So, you know, I don't control everything in my life, and I think for other people it's the same. So somebody called me about 6 months ago, called Norbert. I had never met him. And he told me he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and he had taken the lipoic acid and hydroxycitrate, the ketogenic diet, and he had taken hypochlorite. I had never never heard of hypochlorite, but his pancreatic cancer a year after was stable. He had not taken chemo. So when you hear that, you never know if you're dealing with somebody who is nuts or something which is real. So I did ask him to show up, and he came to a meeting we had at aux Arts et Métiers in Paris, and the guy was reasonable. Then I had the chance of a friend of mine who tried to explain to me hypochlorite. Hypochlorite is something which is known in the immunotherapy or immune system. It's how the granulocytes eat the cells. They secrete hypochlorite, and that's the way they digest cells. So I'm going back to the chemistry of chloride ions. So it's a bit complex. I'm not going to get you lost, and I'm not completely on firm grounds. But hypochlorite and chlorite were synthesized by Berthollet, and we're back at the French Revolution, so it's way back. In 1818, Louis XVIII was dead, and he stunk, and they did not know what to do, and Labarack, who you had not heard of, neither did I, used hypochlorite or chlorite just on the face of Louis XVIII for it not to smell too much. And when Semmelweis, so we're now going to Vienna in the 1840, wanted the students to stop killing the ladies, he asked them to wash their hands with chloride or hypochlorite. And that's the basis for the Daquin solution. If you go to the chemistry of the chlorine ions, we all know salt, but you also have different ions, more or less oxidized. And you have salt, which is radioactive, you have chlorine, you have hypochlorite, and you have perchlorate. Perchlorate is, if you want to make a bomb, it's what you need. And that's what Lavoisier worked on. Anyway, this is hypochlorite. Hypochlorite is what the neutrophil used to kill cells. And this is the PSA of a patient who was there when Norbert came with his advanced pancreatic cancer. This man, advanced prostate cancer, unresponsive to hormones, cord compression at the beginning, and for the specialist, Gleason grade 8 out of 9 or 10. And his PSA dropped dramatically when he started using hypochlorite. Hypochlorite, and just here a peak, which decreased when he increased the dose. One point which appears to be important, as you're dealing with free radicals, which have a very short half-life, this man is taking the hypochlorite every other and a half, because it's a very short half-life. We think he has to take it at night also, because apparently cancer grows at night. And for the one who have been on cancer wards, the people complain mostly at night. I don't know if it's something which is known or not, but apparently cancer grows mostly at night. The way we try to understand what we see with hypochlorite, it's an extremely simple molecule. You can see chlor, hydrogen and oxygen. You cannot get smaller as a medication. It goes everywhere. The way we understand it, or we think we understand it, is that when it gets into the cell, it's a weak acid, which pKa is 7.5. In the alkaline environment of a cancer cell, it's activated and gives you dioxide de chlor, I'm sorry for the English, and destroys the cells. So these are experiments. I got the results also 2 days ago. First, on the red, you see normal cells. The pH is 7.2. So it's known that below a pH of 7.2, cells cannot divide. When you look at cancer cells, the pH is alkaline. And when you add either metablock called, so it's lipoic acid and hydroxycitrate, or with hypochlorite, you don't see much. When you do a combination of both, you decrease the pH. And when the pH goes below 7.2, the cell cannot divide. The same with the mitochondrial potential. If you use either the metablock, so the combination of metabolic treatment that we discovered, or hypochlorite, you increase the mitochondrial transmembrane potential. These are the points I want to make. First, cancer is the Warburg effect, and that's what we face. It's a clear definition of the disease. Until proven otherwise, it appears to us that it's as simple as that, until proven otherwise. Cancer is caused, or is mostly caused, by increased pressure which turns off the mitochondria and the cardiolipin of Professor Seyfried. The increased pressure caused a decrease in mitochondrial activity, probably caused by inflammation. For the one who loves physics, it's not too far from Newton's third law. And treatment should aim at restarting the mitochondria. The drugs available are multiple. You can use DON, you can use lipoic acid, hydroxycitrate, hypochlorite. You have multiple treatment options. It's obvious that for the patient and for everybody, clinical trials are needed urgently. Thank you very much.